Mark Denham on Atom Radio.
Saturday morning, episode 62 of the Drivetime podcast. Hello, how are you? I hope you're very well. Thank you so much for checking this out. This is Mark Denham from Atom Radio's Drivetime with the best bits of Atom Radio's Drivetime. That's kind of handy then, isn't it? On the way in the podcast this week, a rogue chocolate orange, some inappropriate sleeping, selfie technique error. The youth of today, Instagram famous, and a very, very important scientific question. How much data makes you and me different? All on the way on this week's podcast. Enjoy.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
It is Monday afternoon at 3:21. You got Mark with you on Drive Time until 7 o'clock tonight. Cheers so much for sticking us on. Whether you're online, whether you're on mobile in iTunes Radio or on your smart speaker. A woman thought she was being burgled. She asked her brother to check it out. The lady called Chelsea in Edinburgh heard a banging noise and thought, someone's trying to break in. It was just her and her brother at home. She wanted her brother to go and check it out. In fact, her brother didn't need to check anything out. It was just him opening a chocolate orange. You know when you have to tap and unwrap? Well, you don't really tap, do you? Let's be honest. They're kind of glued together almost, aren't they? You have to, bash it to unwrap it. Yeah, that's what it was. So Chelsea and Ryan, all happily ever after, and I'm sure they enjoyed the chocolate orange too.
Mark Denham with Drive Time.
These members then asleep at the Conservative Party conference has made me think, where's the most inappropriate place you have fallen asleep? I'll tell you what really, really scares me is the cinema. Because if you get a cinema with an uncomfortable seat, you sit there for the whole movie, don't you? You have to watch all the trailers and the adverts, and you sit there through the movie and you're like, can't get comfortable, hang on, move a little bit. And eventually you leave uncomfortable. But if you get a cinema with a comfy seat and you kind of lie back a little bit, maybe you might just doze off. And what worries me is that I know that I snore as well. So I'm just worried about, getting comfortable in the cinema and then everyone is looking at you because you're ruining the film by actually snoring really, really, really loud. That does genuinely scare me, going to the cinema. Rather wait and get it on Blu-ray or whatever, or DVD, watch it at home.
Drive Time with Mark Denham.
Hello, it is Mark with you on Drive Time. Welcome to you if you are listening for the very first time. Hello if you listen to this sham of a show regularly as well. A friend of mine updated her profile picture on Twitter across the weekend, right? Nice picture and all that, but there is a problem. She's taken the picture into a mirror, therefore meaning that the device that she used, her phone, is showing in the picture. All right, now, I just don't get this. In 2019, if you buy a smartphone, the cameras on the front, certainly if you've got the latest iPhones, the cameras on the front are better than the cameras you had on the back of your phone 2 or 3 years ago. But in this day and age, right, you've got the selfie camera on the front, you've got the back camera as well. Generally, the back camera is better than the front. But there is no need in 2019 to go and stand in front of a mirror and take your picture. You could just use the selfie camera. Why on earth are we still seeing pictures taken into the mirror showing the camera device that you've used? It's beyond me.
Mark Denham with Drive Time.
A 19-year-old apprentice called Connor has ditched his car in a rush to find a music festival. However, when the music stopped in his rush, he realized that he has no idea at all where his car is. He dumped his car in a residential street, took a taxi to the Tokyo World event on the 22nd of September in Bristol. After the show was over, however, he realized he had no idea where he'd left his Vauxhall Corsa, and a week on, neither he nor his mum have been able to find it. I'm just thinking, right, seriously, why don't you just phone the taxi company that you got the taxi through and ask where they picked you up? Now there's an idea for you, Connor. There's no charge for that. There is an idea. Public service broadcasting.
Yeah! Mark Denham.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
Afternoon, 3:36 in the UK. Hello, wherever you are around the world. Thank you for sticking us on. It's Mark until 7. This observation that I have made, all right, this comes from looking at Instagram and Facebook earlier today. And a friend of mine, who shall remain nameless, lives her life like she is in OK Magazine. Like everything, like me on Instagram, I'll take a quick snap. If I like it, stick it up on Instagram. Or, if like I bump into a friend or something, take a selfie, stick it up. No. She doesn't do that. Everything is staged. And I'm just thinking, right, I'm imagining in my head living your life like that, okay, where, like, let's say you go on a dinner date. Got to take a third wheeler with you because they've got to get the photograph, because it can't just be a selfie. It's got to be a proper photograph. And then, like, when the food arrives on your dinner date, you have to make sure the table is perfect, make sure the plates are perfect. By the time you've done all that and set the stage and everything and taken the photo, all three of you, like the couple and the third wheeler who's taking the photo, your dinner's going to be cold. Where's the point to this? I mean, I don't get it. You know what? Like, if you are Instagram famous, it's like being Monopoly rich. It's not real. You know what? Like, you could have thousands of Monopoly pounds. You can't take them out and spend them. If you are Instagram famous, you're only Instagram famous to your own friends. You're not even, like, in Hello Magazine. I don't get, like, why you would live your life like that.
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
Hello, it is 6:20. You got Mark on the big drive home. Cheers for sticking us on. This thing that my friend shared on Facebook earlier today, which I must admit I have then gone on to share, is about growing up in the 80s. A little video of pictures of things that you will remember if you grew up in the 80s, like your school's computer room having just one computer, the BBC Micro in it, an age when computer games came on cassette tapes as well. You had to start wearing seatbelts in the 80s as well. You had to get out and pull up the car aerial to listen to the radio, and petrol stations sold just fuel. Disabled people had to drive around in those little blue three-wheeled cars as well. You see, like, those were the days, back in the 80s. Like, so much of that has now gone, hasn't it? Things have changed so much.
Mark Denholm.
What is this thing then that I'm dying to share with you that I am proud of? Researchers have studied more than 37,000 keyboard typers and touchscreen texters, and teens are around 10 words per minute faster than their parents' generation. People are growing up increasingly less skilled with the use of physical keyboards. Autocorrect is more efficient than word prediction or selecting text from a list. Now, I have to say, right, I'm still very, very fast on a keyboard. I would say I was very, very fast. But then I thought, research shows that people can type, the fastest typers can type at 85 words a minute, all right, on a touchscreen phone. So I thought that I will test this morning, okay? And here's what I typed in a minute. Hello, this is Mark, testing my typing speed and seeing how many words I can type in a minute. I have no idea what you're supposed to type here, but hopefully there is no prescribed text to measure the speed with, and I'll be okay with this. Running out of things to say now and only halfway through, so this could end up being a load of old rubbish, but hopefully not. We'll see how far I get before I run out of time, and hopefully this will. It would have gone on to say, be satisfactory to gauge from, but I didn't have time to type that. I make that, though, 89 words in 60 seconds. I'll take that. I am quite happy with that.
Atom Radio. Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
I have done some calculation here, and I can share this story with you now. The story is that Ed Sheeran paid himself £47,000 a day. Yep, a day last year, as his company makes £32 million. Wow. In fact, £32.5 million Ed Sheeran Limited made last year, which means he earns £47,000 per day. All right. Now, if you are in America, that equates to $57,551 per day. If you're listening in Europe, it's €52,701 per day. I have now compared this to the average wage here in the UK, which is £29,000 per year, which equates to £79.45 a day, $97 a day, or €89 a day, which is significantly different So if you were earning £47,000 or $57,500 or €52,700 a day, what would you spend it on? I mean, the bank balance must just be going up and up and up and up and up. I don't know how you could spend that amount of money in a day. Like, you know, if the average wage is 29,000 and people live on that, okay, what do you do if you earn that plus another £18,000 every single day? So you earn the average UK wage plus £18,000 every single day. What do you spend it on? £47,000 a day. I mean, what do you spend it on? Like, how long are the average people awake for? Let's say that you are awake for, I don't know, what should we say? 18 hours a day. That would mean that you would have to spend £2,611, 11 pence every single hour just to spend what you earn in the day. The savings account must be huge. Seriously, £47,000 a day. Top work, Ed, though. Well done. Good job.
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
This karma story that I want to tell you, right? Anthony Bayer is a man who at his heaviest weighed 24 stone and 10 pounds. That's 157 kilos if you work in those. Always struggled with his weight, butt of cruel jokes at school. But then this one absolutely takes the biscuit. He was tricked into going to his school prom with a girl, only to then have her reject him at the last second in a cruel prank. He rented a limo, bought a brand new suit, drove to her house, and she said to him, I'm not going with you, you're too fat, you won't even fit in the door. The guy has gone on to lose 60 kilos, which is a lot of weight. He's lost 9 stone and 6 pounds. And now this lady that rejected him has managed to get his number, apparently from Instagram, and she sent him a message basically that said, hey Anthony, and it doesn't give her name. We went to school together doesn't give the school name. And I just know that, I don't know if you remember me, I just wanted to let you know that I'm sorry for bullying you for being overweight. I want you to know if you give me a chance, I want to know if you'll give me a chance to take you out for dinner. I think you're absolutely hot and I would love the chance to make it up to you. Well done, Anthony. He didn't even reply to her. He said, I couldn't believe it. I didn't even reply. I'll forgive, but I would never forget. I am so glad that he just left her hanging, because what she did is just pure evil. Top marks, Anthony, on your weight loss and on leaving her hanging. There you go, love, whatever your name is. That's karma.
Drive Time with Mark Denholm.
Abba, does your mother know, lover boy, working for the weekend? It is Friday's drive time at 6:11. I'm just picturing Rowan Atkinson, Johnny English right now. Yeah, you know what I'm saying, don't you? Right, I've still got this page open from the brain teaser where we were talking about megabytes and gigabytes, all right? The human genome consists of DNA representing 800 megabytes of data. However, the parts that differentiate one person from another can be compressed to 4 megabytes. Wow. So what makes you and me different is 4 megabytes worth of data. How have they worked that out? I mean, that's amazing, isn't it? 800 megabytes of data in the human genome, and yet what makes you and I different can be compressed down to 4 megabytes. That's smaller than a camera image in this day and age.
AtomRadio.co.uk.
You know, firstly, an apology. I realised at the start of this podcast, I said Saturday morning. And I realise you may be listening to this at any time of any day. So whatever day it is and whatever time it is, I hope you're all right. That scientific story, 4 megabytes is what the bits of DNA that make you and me individual can be compressed down to. If you take a photo on your iPhone now, certainly if you've got a digital camera and you take a raw photo, the amount of data captured in that photo is bigger than the amount of data that makes you and I who we are. That is amazing, isn't it? That DNA for you and me, 4 megabytes. That's less than one song, less than a picture, And yet from all of that comes you and me. I'm amazed. Thank you for checking out episode 62 of the podcast. You know what? Next week we'll have episode 63, another week of best bits on Drive Time. You can subscribe on iTunes, on Google Play and on Spotify. And of course, I'll be back Monday afternoon, 3 o'clock on Atom Radio with another week of Drive Time kicking off. Have a great week, whatever you're doing. You can listen live, UK time, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 3 p.m.
Atom Radio. Ooh, yeah. Playing the music you want to hear.
Mark Denholm.
AtomRadio.co.uk